I've been looking, high and low all over the place for people who want to come a little bit closer to this culture, the culture of life. And when I say the culture of life, I mean, a culture of meeting needs, a culture of connection, a culture of closeness, a culture of freedom in relating, a culture of taking radical responsibility for your own feelings and your own needs, a culture where people can express themselves without judgment, where they can just clear the shit and the stress from the past in their lives because they have a place and a person, who is safe enough, who understands enough, who acknowledges enough the human experience that you can just go for it and see what happens. And really, I do one-on-one sessions with people. I love helping people in their lives. I love helping people to let go of stress with physical symptoms, all that stuff. But really what I want to do personally is learn more about the nature of reality. And I think that there's a lot of limitations to us learning more about the nature of reality in this world, about what it means to be, a human being in this world, about what it means to be in this time in 2026, on the planet with all the shit that's going on today. Because people are afraid to know the answers. They might ask the wrong questions. They might ask the right questions, but not actually be genuinely open to the answers. But most of all, people don't really have the tools to ask, useful questions that are going to lead them to understand more about why they might feel the way that they do. Why they experience stress in their bodies, why they seem to be in the same relationships over and over and over again, or they can't get out of a relationship with a partner, why they, keep searching for something that they're never finding, why they feel, obligated to spend time with their families, or why they feel like they have to work at a job even though they're exhausted and they just want to rest and nap and, get out of the whole system. Like, there's so many people that I speak to or that I hear talking about this beautiful ideal of building a community, years down the line, where they have all their people and they're all, working towards more collaboration and connection with their land, with themselves, with each other. And lots of people are doing it. Lots of people have great ideas for it. And lots of people have done it. And then they've realized it hasn't worked for them. But mostly what I find is a lot of people who talk the talk, but they don't really know how to genuinely walk the walk and figure out what they really want, what they really have capacity for, what they really have energy for, what, creative strategies to meet their needs are, rather than just the same strategies they've been using their whole lives. There's a few things that I've found that are really amazing frameworks for talking about this, and that's what I'm interested in exploring. I'm interested in exploring that with my clients, with my friends, with the other people who are incredibly devoted to this culture and this way of being. And also, like I said, anyone anywhere on the planet who is at all interested in coming closer to me and learning more about what I do, and also sharing about themselves and their lives and their ideas, so that we can collaborate together more. Because I don't know, frankly, I'm sick of being in a culture that is incredibly individualistic, where people are so limited that they can't consider others, or they can't genuinely have the space to explore their unique personal area in the world, because they are too busy with trying to do it all on their own. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it all on my own. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I've tried banding up with people who are lower capacity. That also hasn't really worked for me. I've learned a lot. But, what I really want to do now is create a community, a bigger, expansive community, ideally the whole world, of people who are a little bit more open and a little bit more interested in exploring ideas, in learning about the nature of reality, and feeling better in their lives, and setting up their lives so that they have, different, let me just see what I'm trying to say. so that they have what they want, so that they can get what they want genuinely and, you know, not be held back by themselves and their own limitations. So if you feel like this video has sparked your interest in any way, please engage. Yeah, subscribe, like, comment, message. I'm open to being divisive, but also, like, let's respect each other. You know, let's do it and see what happens. This is an experiment like everything else that I do in my life. And I think that it's one that's really worth being a part of. And, you know, I've got lots of people who could say the same. It's decentralized. I'm putting myself out here as the face of this movement, but this movement is all of us. We all need to come closer to what it is that we want. And what I want is nonviolence. I want people who are less judgmental, people who are more willing and open-minded. I want to surround myself by that, by respect, by all of these things. And if you do too, then let's connect.